back to another amazing class on your favorite French learning channel. It's Kevilia Isaac. In today's amazing class, we are going to take a look at the guidelines to consider when conjugating verbs in French. So buckle up and let's get today's wonderful class started. But before we kick off today's wonderful class, let's take a look at a motivational quote. And this is, "Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but rising every time we fall." Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but rising every time we fall. This beautiful motivational quote is by Confucius. I really hope you were motivated. Well then, please make sure you keep me motivated by hitting the subscribe button. Alright guys, now let's dig into the actual deal for today. Essential guidelines to consider when conjugating verbs in French. When conjugating verbs in French, there are so many things you have to take note of, and in this video we are going to discuss all the basic things you must take note of when you are conjugating verbs in French in order to help you improve your conjugation skills. The following are the essential guidelines you must take note of when you are conjugating verbs in French. 1. Identify the verb type. 2. Know the verb infinitive ending. 3. Determine the verb tense. 4. Identify the right subject pronoun. 5. Apply the conjugation pattern. And then 6. Consider irregular verbs. Yes, these are the basic things you must consider when you are conjugating verbs in French. Moving on, let's take the guidelines one after the other and let's discuss them individually. And the first one is identify the verb type. So in conjugating verbs in French, you must check whether the verb is regular or irregular. This is because regular verbs have common conjugation pattern. For example, manger and nager both follow the same conjugation pattern. This is because they are regular verbs. But irregular verbs has a unique conjugation pattern. For example, aller has its own unique conjugation pattern. This is because it is an irregular verb. Moving on, another thing you must take note of is know the verb infinitive ending. Verbs are assigned into groups based on their endings in the infinitive form. For example, we have the ER group verbs, the IR group verbs, and then the RE group verbs. So, when conjugating verbs in French, you must also take note of the ending of the infinitive form of the verb. Again, when conjugating verbs in French, you must determine the verb tense. It is very important to check the component of the sentence. This is to help you decide on the appropriate tense to use. Each tense follows a specific conjugation rule, and that is why you must identify whether the tense of the verb is present past or future, or even imperfect. Also, another very important factor is identify the right subject pronoun. Hey, this is very important because when conjugating verbs in French, conjugation is always based on the subject pronoun, and that is why you must find the pronoun of the subject. That is when the subject is not already in the form of a pronoun, and then you apply the specific conjugation for that particular pronoun. For example, elles, ils, j'ai, tu, nous, vous, and then on. Also, when conjugating verbs in French, you must apply the conjugation pattern. Just as I said earlier on, you must figure out whether the verb is regular or irregular, because regular verbs have a common conjugating pattern. Yes, so you must apply the common conjugating pattern of the regular verb based on its infinitive ending. For example, below is the conjugation pattern used for verbs. Well, if you want more of this, as in you want to see the various conjugation patterns for verbs as well as verbs, I have a video just on that will delve deeper than this one, and I'm going to leave the link to that video in the description box so that you can go and check it out. Now let's take a look at the last but not the least thing to check when conjugating verbs in French, and this is consider the irregular verbs. Consider the irregular verbs. Just as I mentioned, irregular verbs are exceptional verbs in French that have their own specific conjugation patterns. Yes, and as a result of this, you must know the particular conjugation pattern each exceptional verb in French follow. But do not worry at all if you have a problem memorizing these conjugation patterns, because I have a video that will simplify all of them for you, and I'm going to leave the link to those videos in the description box so that you can go and check them out. All too soon, this brings us to the end of today's wonderful class, but I cannot just let you go without giving you any task for today. Well, today's task is a very simple one, and it's simply this. Please make sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed today's wonderful class, and also please don't forget to subscribe if you are new to this channel so that you can help your girl reach her golden target, 10k subscribers. And hey, my YouTube community is getting better and bigger, so don't be left out. Make sure you check it out, answer the questions, like, and please don't forget to leave a comment. Until we meet again in another very amazing video, it is au revoir.